Welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. We're in season 3, episode number 46. Andy, this is a songs edition, songs
Yes.
portion of the week here, music only. And today is October 6th, 2022. Well, you may have some concert and update and album
Yep.
later on in the show as far as upcoming tours and whatnot, but we got an album review today.
Yes.
We do. Now, it goes back into our high school days.
Yes. The high school days.
Another 80s, but there's some history and some story behind this. But I picked an album called Kix, the band called Kix, album called Blow My Fuse, 1988.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There it is. Now, did you own this album, Andy?
No, this is one I never owned. They were popular. Or this album came out hype of mid of the 80s, hair bands, MTV. They were the right time for them. A band with a big history. This album was really the only one that really did anything. A couple of their songs they're known for all came off this album, but there was more to them than just this album. That's what's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff here. Blow My Fuse is the fourth album by glam metal band Kix, released September 1988 on Atlantic Records. I mean, they had a big record deal. Atlantic.
Yeah, Atlantic was the company you had to be with back then for a rock band. Yeah,
that was the one. And this album features their only hit, which happens to be a power ballad called "Don't Close Your Eyes." This song peaked at number 11. They had the other songs in here. There's some good music videos on this album. And they're basically a rock band, a heavy metal / rock band. They never were really glam until that came out later. This album went platinum, but Kix, one of those bands that kind of was at the wrong time, at the wrong place, in the wrong time of history. Had some good friends and buddies. They were close with Cinderella and Rat and those guys, but things came a little too late. And this came out in 88. They got some airplay, but boy, 91, they were working on the next album, the follow-up, and Nirvana had just come out, and grunge was the whole scene, and rock really poof, gone.
Yep.
And Kix got hung up into that, and no matter what they did, no one was buying. No one was interested in doing anything. So the album length is 40 minutes, 23 seconds. Here's the tracks. First song is Red Light, Green Light, TNT. Fairly good. Kind of, we're down into this late 80s corny metal, but it is what it is. Next song is Get It While It's Hot. Next song is No Ring Around Rosie. Next song is Don't Close Your Eyes. They did the music video for this, a power ballad, and that's, I think, what everyone was buying. That's what the women were buying, the ladies, was that song. Next one was She Dropped Me the Bomb. On the next side 2 of the cassette, Cold Blood. That was there was a music video for that.
Yep.
That was released. I don't know, maybe it wasn't released.
It was.
The next song is Piece of the Pie. Reminds me of a Warrant song there around the same time. Next song is Boomerang. Next song is Blow My Fuse, the title track. They released this 1988. Heavy metal rocker, good video, good stuff. Last song is Dirty Boys. So they try to sell the kind of the dirty boy, rock boy image with the ladies. And it didn't really, I guess, sell, but coming off their album before this was Midnight Dynamite, released in 85. And this is when everyone was coming up very good. Things were going good. They got the record deal. Blow My Fuse went platinum. I think because, the guys were buying, the males, the teenage males were buying this album for the heavy metal songs. The ladies were buying it for the slow song, the ballad, and MTV got a lot of airplay, so it did well. Here, they released the songs Get It While It's Hot, and Blow My Fuse, and then finally Don't Close Your Eyes. And that's the one in 1989 that took off. It peaked on the US Billboard 200 charts at number 46. It went platinum. Here's the personnel. Not a big name on the list. Steve Whiteman, lead vocals. He's still around today.
Yep.
Ronnie Youngkins, guitars. Brian Forsyth, guitars. Donnie Purnell, bass. And Jimmy Chalfant, drums and percussion. So what are your thoughts on the old band Kix? They've been around for a while. It's still another one of those bands that you may see on the casino trip. You
look at them; it's still both basically the same group of people too. That's the thing about Kix is they didn't rotate members a lot. It's still there. I got some notes on Mr. Whiteman, Steve Whiteman, the lead singer. Very talented singer, I think. One thing about Kix, I saw them looking it up. This is no disrespect. This album was considered one of the 50 best glam metal albums of the 80s. I don't even think this is Kix's best album, and yet they had it on their 50 best. So
okay,
that's just my opinion. I liked the earlier stuff before this was good because it's all kind of the same. Cold Blooded, which came off this album, was my favorite song. My favorite song of theirs.
Okay.
The video, to say it's cheesy, you gotta remember it was late 80s MTV, so it kind of falls under that. But it's still a good song. All the songs were good. They were catchy, because that's that name of the game when you make songs. You want to be catchy, people to remember you. Had good hooks in it. Very, I said, rock and roll. It was good hair band rock and roll. It wasn't the hard rock, the Judas Priest, Iron Maiden rock and roll. But theirs was like with their buddies, with Rat and Cinderella, that type of rock and roll, so which was good. Again, Mr. Whiteman. Loved music growing up as a child, he did. He would hurry home after church and play by ear the hymns he had just heard. So he's very musical. He started his music career by playing drums in a Led Zeppelin cover band.
Really?
Yeah, when Kix started, Whitman and Donnie Spence would alternate between drums and vocals. Whitman got the full-time job when they found that he could hit the higher notes.
Oh, yes. And they are high.
Yes, he can get up there. He also started teaching vocals, drums, guitar, and harmonica at the Maryland Institute of Music. One of his students that he had there was Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm.
Oh, really?
And when you hear that, it's like, okay, I can see where that's coming from. Not that they're the same sound, but, I got Hailstorm. Very talented Lizzie Hale. Here's a guy who's a lead singer, drums. He could teach it all. Reminds me of Steven Tyler that way. Okay. Steven Tyler could do a whole album himself if he had to. He's very talented. And also, like I said, he did some other stuff. He was on Twisted Sister's Love is for Suckers in 1987. We had Twisted Sister last week. Different album, but, Love is for Suckers. They had a lot of other guys guest on their albums a lot. They weren't a joke band. I think a lot of people thought they were, because they tried to be a little too funny in the videos a little. And so I never owned anything, but I was still on Spotify. I got Cold Blooded on one of my playlists. I love that song, so very good. Very good music. Never seen them in concert. I don't think they'd really be. If I saw them coming up, I wouldn't exactly clear my calendar to go see them, but I would still wouldn't mind seeing them, if you know what I'm saying.
Now, did they release Cold Blood? I know there's
yes.
a music video. I don't see it listed here unless I didn't print the whole thing. But Cold Blood is one that I do recall from late 80s when that first came out. That was on not my playlist, for instance, but I did hear that.
Yeah, that's actually a really good song. Yeah, but the video is kind of a little cheesy one there. That's all I got on them. I do have some concert information if you got for other bands, if you got anything more on Kix or no.
The last thing on Kix is this. In 1991 was their next album, Hotwire. And it says that, they got it done. They released it. They had a tour plan. And I think they were going to release 3 singles and 3 music videos. But after Nirvana hit the big charts and the grunge scene, Seattle, Pacific Northwest started coming out, the record label really said, you know what, we're going to release the first song and the first album. I mean, the first song, first music video, and that's it. Scrap the rest. We got to move on because this isn't what people want anymore. So that's how fast it hit back in the times. No one was listening to the music, the glam metal, the heavy metal, all just went dark, and they got caught up right in it. And the lead singer, Whiteman, said, I read an article that they didn't want anything to do with them, Atlantic. They said, no, we're moving on to bigger and better things. Don't even waste your time making the videos for the other two songs. So, they've got some good stuff. And I do think that Atlantic, probably had them put that love ballad on there, Don't Close Your Eyes. This band Kix does not seem to me love ballad kind of material. I think that's record guys saying, throw a love ballad on there. That's what everyone's doing. And then it just happened to hit it big. But these guys are normal rock and roll guys. If you watch the videos, they're good. There's some comedy to it. No makeup. They're just long-haired rock and roll stars. So.
And this was their fourth album when it finally hit. That was at the end of the rock hair band genre. So they finally got their break at the peak of the roller coaster. If not at the beginning of the descent, if you will. They peaked. It's like, hey, that was great. Thanks. It's been fun. See you. Bye.
And it was all over. I mean, that was it. So very interesting. I didn't plan on doing a Kix album review, but I thought, I've got to get their stuff in there. They've got a large enough of a following online and over in Europe and whatnot of Kix. Yeah. We had to get them in the rotation. I don't think I'll review any other of their albums, but this was their big one. This was platinum, and I think it's worth noting. I also don't agree top 50 heavy metal albums
of the 80s.
Of the 80s. There was plenty out there to pick from.
Yes.
But certainly worth to listen to. That's all I've got for Kix. What else have you got for update?
I got some tour information, just a few dates here. Target Center, December 5th. Five Finger Death Punch and Brentley Gilbert. Now, this is a tour that's got Five Finger Death Punch, which is the hardcore, hard rock, and Brentley Gilbert, which is the country music. So, touring together.
Interesting.
Do I want to see that concert? Yes. But I say that because not of the music. I'd be very interested to people watch at that concert.
That'd be a good people watching concert.
Like watching at the mall.
At a seat and just kick back and watch the circus.
It's like the wife. Do you want to go Christmas shopping at the mall? Yeah, not to buy anything, but just to people watch. I just kind of want to, not a train wreck, not like that. I'm sure it'd be a very good show. Don't get me wrong, but just that mix of those two different dynamics of fans, I think would be interesting.
It's interesting. Five Finger Death Punch is a big following.
Yes.
And we're not, with our age, probably not in that bucket. I don't follow them myself. I respect the group, though.
I've heard a few of their songs. I don't own any of it, but when it comes on the radio, I might give a little turn up.
Yep.
But if they say it's coming up, I'm not going to stick around, listen, and wait for it either.
Correct.
XL Energy Center has a few concerts coming up. November 4th, Smashing Pumpkins. And December 23rd, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, putting on two shows that day, a 3 p.m. and a 7:30 p.m. A couple shows coming up at Medina, our friends at Medina. October 21st is Thunderstruck with Arena opening up. And then December 10th, Hairball. The Strange Days opening up. Hairball, we will be there at that show.
Check our calendar. It's listed there on our website, upcoming events that Andy and I will be at. And so that's out there. That should be a good show.
Yes.
Boy.
And again, check these sites. There's other concerts, of course, going on at a lot of these facilities. You got to remember, though, Target Center coming up now. The main tenant, the Timberwolves, they'll be taking up a lot of spaces there. So there's going to be a lot more concerts. XL has hockey now. The owner, the big moneymaker at the XL there. And also XL, after February, has all the high school tournaments there all the time too. So maybe not a lot of concerts at those venues for a while there. But again, you got Medina, you got out in St. Michael, the music facility out there. The casinos still could get you by like they have in the summer here. Get you by some good concerts, good shows.
What we're going to focus on, I think, next year as well is the new amphitheater in Canterbury Park should be done next year.
Yes.
And that is, as far as I know, is a 17,000 seat or crowd capacity outdoor theater over there in the entertainment district in Shakopee. That would be fun and worthwhile to follow.
I know some people have gone to the ones down at that's one of the casinos, Treasure Island, that, and had a good time. So
yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm a big fan of that. Years ago, the city of Jordan was introduced, I guess, by Q Prime to put a big amphitheater off 169 outside of Jordan in the country, to put a 20,000 seat outdoor stadium like a Woodstock or something out there. That got heavily voted down. Many people didn't like that. They thought, Q Prime was part of Metallica and that whole group. And so the locals thought it's going to be loud, heavy metal. And I said back in the day is you need something like that, an outdoor amphitheater. Think of the money that could come in, the cash, the moolah. Now, 20 years later, Shakopee's doing it, and everyone's all for it. This is going to be a great thing, a big event. That I think I could think of nothing better on an outdoor concert on a weekend night or an afternoon festival outdoors with 18,000 other people seeing a heavy metal band out there. That would be awesome. So thank you, Canterbury, for doing that.
That's interesting. It's at Canterbury, who's neighbors to Mystic Lake. How Mystic, a little competition. They're a little friendly competition. Another site.
Yeah, and you got an indoor smaller site, and then you have this outdoor bigger site. So I don't know how much they will compete with each other directly. It could complement, hopefully.
Right. But another nice different option.
Yeah, I think that's a great deal. Great deal. So I'm all for it.
Yes. So any other bands you guys get interested in for album reviews, please drop them in the comments or just drop us a message. Let us know. So we stick to the rock bands from the 80s. We have gone off script on a few. We have done a country album or two, and we've done some other not so hard rock albums in the past also. So we're not afraid to step outside the genre. But
we may even have a surprise box set review coming up in the next few weeks.
Yes. Yeah, we try to stay away from the greatest hits, but every now and then you got to there's some that are just you can't say no to.
Oh, yes, that's true. All right, everyone, have a good week.
All right, see you later. Bye.